Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Let's Play Forge. Now, last time we have won. In fact, we've been winning quite a lot recently due to our change of location to the Homelands world, and yeah, we've been doing quite fine for ourselves. We have been having a win streak of 5, and our next challenge will be unlocked in 6 more wins. So let's go for those 6 wins, and afterwards we will change our location once again. We'll travel to a different world again, maybe an entirely new one, because I kind of want to diversify the opponents that we've been fighting recently. But for now, let's just pick a random opponent. We'll be playing against Aaron the Relentless. We lost the coin toss and Aaron the Relentless chose to go first, so now we get to choose whether we keep our hand or mulligan. I will keep it because this is a fine starting hand. He puts down a mountain card, we'll put down a forest card. Let's do this, baby. So we'll start out with summoning an Initiate's Companion, which is a 3/1 cat creature, which has the effect of whenever Initiate's Companion deals combat damage to a player, untap target creature or land. This is fine enough. He casts an Iron Claw Curse to enchant probably my Initiate's Companion, because that's the only creature on the field right now. Target creature gets -0, -1. That creature cannot be assigned to block any creature with power greater than or equal to the toughness of the creature Iron Claw Curse enchants. So the -1 from Iron Claw Curse reduced my Initiate's Companion toughness to 0, which means that it died from that effect, which is quite unfortunate. Since we have nothing else to summon at this point, we might as well just build a mana for the time being. He will summon an Anaba Bodyguard, which is a 2/3 bodyguard creature which has First Strike. First Strike means that if it battles another creature and it has the power to kill that creature entirely, then that creature will not get to do its damage to Anaba Bodyguard at all. So another bodyguard basically kills it before it gets to do any damage to it at all. Now there's nothing else for us to do, so let's just accumulate the mana and move on. He will attack us with his Anaba Bodyguard and do 2 damage to us. Then he summons an Anaba Ancestor, which is a 1/1 ghost, which has the effect of, for being tapped, target Minotaur gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. That's not so bad. Nothing else we can do either, so let's end our turn. Now he summons an Aaron the Relentless, which is a 5/2 legend creature, which has the effect of Aaron the Relentless can attack the turn it comes into play on your side. So it basically has haste. And for paying free red mana, it can regenerate. So he will attack me with literally everything he has. Let's start summoning something strong. Like, let's summon something like Shepherd Monitor, which is a 6/5 lizard creature, which has the effect of, when you cycle Shepherd Monitor, you may search your library for a basic land card or a desert card, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle your library. Do this before you draw. And the Shepherd Monitor can be cycled by paying 1 green mana and 3 other mana. I'm not going to cycle it, I'll just summon it regularly, so I won't activate its effect, but it's still a pretty good card. Now, he still decides to attack me with his Aaron the Relentless, which is quite unfortunate. I can block him, or I cannot block him. Honestly, I don't know. I'll allow that damage to pass through. Now he summons a Jovan, which is a 3/3 legend creature, which has the effect of, for paying 3 red mana and for tapping it, destroy target non-creature artifact. Now let's do it like this. Let's cast an Ambuscade on our Shepherd Monitor to destroy his Elon the Relentless. Now what Ambuscade does is that it's an instant and it has the effect of target creature you control gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. So our target creature that we control will be our Shepherd Monitor, and the target creature our opponent controls will be his Elon the Relentless. So let's do it. We completely fucked him over with this, and now let's summon a giant spider as well, which is a 2/4 spider creature which has reach. Which means that this creature can block creatures with flying. So now that we used up all our mana, we can continue on. Now let's let's summon a Scale Behemoth, which is a 6/7 crocodile creature, which is hexproof, which means that this creature can be the target of spells or abilities your opponent controls. That's extremely valuable. And now let's simply attack him with our Shepherd Monitor and see how things will progress. Will he block me? He will not block me. That's convenient. Now let's summon a Bitterblade Warrior, which is a 2/2 Jackal Warrior creature, which has the effect of you may exert Bitterblade Warrior as it attacks. When you do, it gets +1/+0 and gains Death Touch until the end of turn. An exerted creature won't untap during your next untap step. Death Touch means that if it enters a battle with any other creature, it will kill that other creature, regardless of the stats. So that's quite cool. Let's summon our Bitterblade Warrior. And since we're here anyway, let's cast Cartouche of Strength as well, which is an aura cartouche which has the effect of which has 3 effects. Those 3 effects are enchant creature you control. Then when Cartouche of Strength enters the battlefield, you may have enchanted creature fight target creature an opponent controls. Each deals damage equal to its power to the other. And finally, enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has trample. So let's use this on our Shepherd Monitor to have it fight his I guess he's an Abba bodyguard, because it's quite an annoying creature because of its first strike, and we successfully defeated his Anaba bodyguard. Now our Shepherd Monitor took 2 damage, so from its 6 toughness it's down to 4 for the remainder of my own turn. But I think I can still have it attack him just to see if he will continue to block me. So now he blocks me with both his Anaba Ancestor and his Jovan. And because my Shepherd's Monitor has taken 2 damage from the previous battle with his other creature that got destroyed, it took 2 damage. So from its 6 toughness, it's down to 4 toughness. And from getting blocked by both Anaba Ancestor and his Jovan, which have accumulated a combined attack power of 4, that will completely be enough to kill my Shepherd Monitor. But also my Shepherd Monitor has 7 power, so I get to distribute those 7 attack points among both his Anaba Ancestor and his Jovan in whichever order I choose. So it doesn't really matter which order I choose, since 7 is both greater than 1 and 3 combined. So regardless of which order I choose to attack them in, they will both die regardless. So let's just auto it. So yeah, I do 1 damage to his Anaba Ancestor, which will be lethal for it. Also 3 damage to his Jovan, and the remainder from the trample that it got conferred with Cartouche of Strength, the trample effect, I will transfer to my opponent directly. So that was quite cool. We did everything that we could have to clean his side of the field. Now he will summon a second Jovan creature, but that won't do him much good, because now I'll just Alpha Strike him with literally everything that I have, while also exerting my Bitterblade Warrior. And I think that's about it. He will block me with his Jovan. Which creature did he block? He blocked... he blocked my Bitterblade Warrior with his Jovan. Because... Yeah, because his Joven is strong enough to completely kill my Beetle Blade Warrior, because my Beetle Blade Warrior has only 2 toughness and his Joven has 3 power. So it's sufficient to kill my Beetle Blade Warrior. But my Beetle Blade Warrior also has the Death Touch, so his Joven will also be completely destroyed. And even if he didn't have Death Touch, my Beetle Blade Warrior currently has 3 power because I exerted it, which is enough to kill his Joven, which also has 3 toughness. So the Joven would have died even without Beetle Blade Warrior's Death Touch. And the giant spiders and scale behemoths attacks will get through because they aren't blocked at all. So 2 plus 6 is 8, 11 life minus 8 is 3. So my opponent will be reduced to 3 life, as you can clearly see. And his Joven was completely destroyed. He will summon now an Ebony Rhino, which is a 4/5 artifact creature which has trample. Let's summon a Sifter Worm, which is a 7/7 worm creature which has trample, and also the effect of when Sifter Worm enters the battlefield, scry free, then reveal the top card of your library. You gain life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Let's summon this. So now we get to play the scry free effect. So the top 3 cards of my library are Giant Spider, Shed Wingness, and Shepherd Monitor in this specific order. Scry free means that we can rearrange them in any order we want, or push them to the bottom of my deck and leave the next cards after these 3 to be the top cards of my deck. I will another one of Sifter Worm's effect is that the top card of my library after my scry free will be used to heal me for its converted mana cost. I would obviously want to rearrange these 3 cards in such a way that the top card that will result from my rearrangement would have the highest converted mana cost as possible, so that I get to be healed the most out of it. So I will push my Shepherd Monitor to be the top of my library, which has a converted mana cost of 6, because it costs 1 green mana and 5 other mana to summon. So in total it's 6 converted mana cost. So I will be healed for 6 from this rearrangement. So I could go up to 12 life. Now let's just Alpha Strike him, and this is it, we won. He will block my Scale Behemoth with his Ebony Rhino to negate its attack, but my Giant Spider's attack will continue to go through to him. So he's down to 1 life, and now he is out of cards in his hand, so he's kind of fucked. Let's summon another Shepherd Monitor without cycling it. Let's just summon it, and now let's just Alpha Strike him, and we won. That was easy. So we removed an Anaba Ancestor from his deck for winning, and now it's time for the next match. Remember that everything is best 2 out of 3 right now, so we still have to beat him one more time for the victory to be final. Okay, so this is a good enough starting hand. I will not mulligan it, I will keep it, and he gets to start because he lost the previous match. He will summon a Roterothopter, which is an artifact creature, 0/2 artifact creature which has flying, and for paying 2 mana it will get +1/+0 until the end of turn. You cannot spend more than 4 mana in this way each turn though. That's interesting. We cannot do anything, so let's end our turn. Let's summon a Feral Prowler, which is a 1/3 cat creature which has the effect of when Feral Prowler dies, draw a card. Now let's summon a Prowling Serpopard, which is a 4/3 cat snake creature which has the effect of Prowling Serpopard can't be countered. Creature spells you control can't be countered. And now let's just... Actually, do I want to attack him with my Feral Prowler? Even if I were to attack him, he would block my Feral Prowler with his Roterothopter, and his Roterothopter has 2 toughness, so my 1 power from my Feral Prowler will not be enough to kill his Roterothopter, and his 0 power compared to my 3 toughness from my Feral Prowler would not kill my Feral Prowler either. So no creature would kill the other, and they would just negate each other's attacks, so that would be entirely pointless. So let's not do that, let's just end our turn. He used 1 mana to increase his Roterothopter's attack by 1, and now he's attacking me. And because he has flying and none of my creatures have neither flying nor reach, I cannot block his attack, so I will take 1 damage. That's fine, I'm not particularly concerned about that. Let's use an ambuscade on our Feral Prowler to destroy his Roterothopter. And now let's just Alpha Strike him, which means attacking with all of our available creatures. So 2 power from our Feral Prowler plus 4 power from our Prowling Sample Part is 6. 20 minus 6 would be 14. So he will be reduced to 14 life. Excellent. He summons a Jovan now, which is quite unfortunate. Let's think about this. Let's summon an Elite Cat Warrior, which is a 2/3 creature which has Forest Walk, which means that if the defending player has any forests in play, which he does not, he only has mountains in play, then Elite Cat Warrior can't be intercepted. Forests are in play regardless of whether they're tapped or untapped. Well, he has no forests in play, he only has mountains, so that effect will not kick in. But it's the thought that counts. Let's attack him with everything we can, which is our Feral Prowler and our Prowling Serpopard. We cannot attack with our Elite Cat Warrior because we just summon it and it still has summoning signals for the remainder of our turn. He will block our Feral Prowler with his Jovan, and since his Jovan has 3 power and our Feral Prowler has only 3 toughness, our Feral Prowler will die from this encounter. And since our Feral Prowler has only 1 power and his Jovan has 3 toughness, his Jovan will survive this battle. But since our Feral Prowler dies, its effect will kick in, which is when Feral Prowler dies, draw a card. So that's exactly what will happen. We got to draw an extra card, which is Sifter Worm. Now let's end our turn. Now he will attack us with his Jovan, and we could in theory block him with our Elite Cat Warrior. But I don't think I want to do that, because even if we were to block him with our Elite Cat Warrior, his Jovan is strong enough to kill our Elite Cat Warrior, whereas our Elite Cat Warrior is not strong enough to kill his Jovan. So that would be a bad deal. I will let that attack unblocked and pass through, so we will take 3 damage in total. Now he will summon a Chandler, which is a 3/3 legend creature, which has the effect of, for paying 3 red mana and tapping, he will get to destroy target artifact creature. Interesting. Let's summon a Giant Spider, which is a 2/4 spider creature with reach, so that we have more blocking power. Now, what do we want to attack him with? Let's attack him with our Feral Prowler. No, with our... sorry, not Feral Prowler, with our Prowling Serpopard. He has enough power to completely destroy his Chandler creature if he decides to block our Prowling Serpopard's attack with his Chandler. And his Chandler is the only creature he has untapped on his side of the field, so it's the only creature he can block our Prowling Serpopard with. Or he will let that attack pass through. If he lets that attack pass through, then he will be reduced to 6 total life. If he doesn't, and he blocks our Prowling Serpopard with his Chandler, both my Prowling Serpopard and his Chandler will die from the encounter. So we'll see which one he chooses. He did not block, so he took 4 damage. He cast an Iron Claw Curse on one of our creatures. I don't know which one though. And let's see, he cast an Iron Claw Curse and attached it to our Prowling Serpopard. Okay, so our Prowling Serpopard had its toughness reduced from 3 to 2 from the Iron Claw Curse, and also it will not be able to block creatures from this point on which have a power greater than or equal to 2, which is annoying. And now he casts a Serrated Arrows, which is an artifact card, which has the effect of, when Serrated Arrows comes into play, put 3 arrowhead counters on it. During your upkeep, bury Serrated Arrows if there are no arrowhead counters on it. And for tapping it, remove an arrowhead counter from Serrated Arrows to put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. That's annoying. So he put a -1/-1 counter on our giant spider. Well, that's unfortunate. Now, there are different things we can do. But given that we have a limited amount of mana at our disposal, I think what I will do is that I will attack him both with our Prowling Serpopard and with our Giant Spider at the same time. You know what, we might as well attack him with our Elite Cat Warrior as well. Like, basically attack him with everything that we have. So, he will use both his Jovan and his Chandler to block our creatures. Specifically, he will use his Jovan to block our Prowling Serpopard and his Chandler to block our Elite Cat Warrior. Our Giant Spider's attack will pass through though. Now, our Prowling Serpopard is strong enough to kill his Jovan, even though his Jovan is strong enough to kill our Prowling Serpopard as well. And our Elite Cat Warrior is not strong enough to kill his Chandler. So what I will do is that I will cast a Shed Weakness on our Elite Cat Warrior, which is an instant, so I can cast it even during the current phase, even though it's not a main phase, because instants can be cast literally at any point in the game that we want to. And it has the effect of target creature gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. You may remove a -1/-1 counter from it. So doing this will increase our Elite Cat Warrior stats to the point in which it will be strong enough to kill his Chandler without getting killed itself. So now we killed both of his creatures and we also reduced his health to 5. He will use his arrows right now to put a -1/-1 counter on our Elite Cat Warrior as well now, which is quite unfortunate. And now he casts an Unzerin Ruins, which is an enchantment and which has the effect of choose a creature type. Creatures of that type do not untap during their controller's untap phase. Aaron the Relentless, Peak to Warrior. So now our Elite Cat Warrior is untappable, or is not untappable anymore. So we cannot untap it, so it will remain tapped for the remainder of this game, or at least until I remove his Unzerin Ruins from play. Which means that now Elite Cat Warrior is effectively just taking up space on my side of the field but not doing anything, which is quite unfortunate. But either way, I do not have the mana to do anything at this point because I need one more forest card at least to summon the stronger creatures. So let's just summon a Giant Spider now. And let's Alpha Strike him, so just attack him with our Giant Spider right now to do 1 damage to him. He now put another Serrated Arrow on my other Giant Spider as well. And now he cast another Serrated Arrow to put another -1 counter on my Giant Spider. We finally get another forest card and we can summon a Bramblewave Behemoth, which is a 6/6 elemental creature which has Trample. Which means that this creature can deal excess combat damage to defending player or planeswalker while attacking. Excellent. Now let's attack him with pretty much everything that we've got. Why not? We do 2 damage to him, or no, just 1 damage because one of our Giant Spiders has 2 -1/-1 counters on it, which effectively reduced its attack to 0, so that didn't even do any damage to him. He puts another -1/-1 counter on our Bramblewave Behemoth now. Let's summon Panther Warriors, which is a 6/3 creature. And now let's just Alpha Strike him entirely, and we won. So we got to win an Abba Bodyguard from him, which is a 2/3 bodyguard creature, which costs 1 red mana and 3 other mana to summon, and which has first strike. And we also got to win a Rebecca Wizard Savant, which is a 0/1 legend creature, which costs 2 blue mana and 2 other mana to summon, and which has the effect of, for tapping it, Rebecca deals 2 damage to target creature or player and does not untap during your next untap phase. That sounds terrible. I don't think that's a good card. We also win a random rare called Feroz's Ban, which is an artifact that costs 6 mana to cast. Damn, that's a lot. And which has the effect of summon spells each cost an additional 2 mana to cast. Interesting. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to get in touch with me, I have a Mastodon account as well as a Matrix room that you can join, details of which you can find in the description of this video. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching and see you next time.